Origin Jump Works at your service. Core system operational.
Vandal Swarm initiated.
Hey guys, it's Matt from Biscuit Breaks, and today we're playing Star Citizen, or more like a very early version of Star Citizen. I mean, it's not even alpha. This is pre-alpha gameplay. Everything you see in this video is subject to change, and it probably will change over the next few months of development as they make it better. This is the 2 days after the release of the dogfight module, so this is the very first playable version of Star Citizen that came out. So if you're watching this in the future, probably a lot of things have changed. Star Citizen is a massive... it's an MMO. It's, well, to say it was a open world space game would not be doing it justice. It's going to be a very big game. I can't really explain all of it, but I'll just say that this is just a very small portion. There's going to be things like planet-side first-person shooter, as in just, you know, like any other first-person shooter. There's exploring. You can board other ships, or you will be able to in the future if everything goes well. You can do tons of stuff. You can be a pirate in space. You can do whatever you want. But right now, this is just a wave game, dogfight, and there's not much else. It's in a confined area. You can't really go anywhere else, which is fine because it's pre-alpha. This isn't even alpha. The dogfight module, basically, there's 15 rounds of these Vandal bad guys, the guys I'm shooting, as you can see on the screen. There's 15 rounds. Every 3 rounds there's a harder wave with an elite, and they're generally harder to kill. They have missiles and they don't just shoot lasers. The ship I'm using is called the Origin 300i. It's not actually my ship, but the ship I bought, that I pledged for, is called the Avenger, and the Avenger isn't actually in the dogfighting module yet. So that's why I have this ship. They gave me a ship of similar price that was already ready until my ship is ready. When my ship is ready, I'll get my ship, obviously.
Warning, there are multiple hostiles inbound.
Star Citizen is completely crowd-funded. No money from publishers. There's no publishers involved. It's just CIG, which I don't remember what it was. Cloud Imperium Games. Actually, I do remember what it was called. The other one's making it, and it's the CEO, Chris Roberts, is the guy who made Wing Commander and well, Wing Commander being the main one, Freelancer as well. Freelancer, both very well known, very good space games from a long time ago.
Alert. Systems overheating.
My first impressions of this alpha are that it's extremely well done for not even alpha, pre-alpha. I keep saying alpha out of habit because there's a lot of alpha games out nowadays, but this game is not even alpha, pre-alpha. And my first impressions are, I am shocked at how good it is. Really, it seems like what a full game would be polished. How polished it is. It's as polished as a full game, should I say? The controls. A lot of people have been complaining about the controls actually, but I don't know. I'll talk about that maybe a bit later. But the graphics, as you can see, I'm playing on medium settings. This isn't full, but I only have a GTX 760. I can't really run this game at full, and it looks amazing. Even on medium, it looks absolutely amazing. I can run it on high, but not record at the same time. It looks insane. It's on the CryEngine, and the CryEngine is already well known for being a very good-looking game. Like Crysis is always the benchmark of PC tests because it looks so good. And they've just somehow made it look even better than Crysis, I think. They've obviously modified the engine for space, and it just looks awesome. Absolutely amazing. This video probably isn't doing it justice because compression and all that stuff. The gameplay is fun, I would say. I will say that the confines that you're confined to do seem to be quite small. You know, you can't really go very far, but I think that's expected for a pre-alpha, and it's just supposed to really be a test of the flight. What I will say is, a lot of people have been complaining about the controls of the mouse and keyboard version of the game, because you can use stuff like HOTASs. I forgot what the acronym means, but you know, joysticks and stuff. And I'm sure they make the game much cooler, much more immersive. But I've only got a mouse and keyboard, so, and a lot of people have been complaining, saying that mouse and keyboard, some people have been saying that mouse and keyboards have an advantage over people with HOTASs and joysticks, because you can actually sort of point where you want to shoot, but with them they're fixed in the middle. They can't really move the cursor around, obviously. So they've been saying that gives us an advantage. I would disagree, but obviously I haven't tried the other type, so I would say until you've tried both, you can't really make that assumption. The people who've tried both obviously have a better view on that. But I think the controls are okay. They do need some changing, I think. I would say that they've done a good job on the first attempt, but the couple of things I don't like are you point where you shoot, but you also use your mouse to point where you want your ship to point its nose towards. So you have to do two things with the mouse, which is okay most of the time. It can cause a few things to go wrong. Yeah, but first impressions overall, the game is definitely amazing for a pre-alpha. They've done it right. They've brought out a small portion of the game for people to test, just to test the fundamentals. That's how you should be doing an alpha, not bringing out the full game and pretending it's like a beta as a PR stunt. That's another benefit of not having a publisher, is they can do these things like release small portions of the game to test, use community feedback, stuff like that. I've already given some feedback that they actually replied to, so they definitely, the way they interact with the community at CIG is great. They listen to everyone, they give us constant updates on the development of the game, and yeah, ignore that my hands aren't actually touching the steering wheel right now in the video. People have been going as far as to say that, like, CIG lied to us about things, which it's completely not true. They're saying that, you know, CIG said it would be a space simulator, but they think the controls are too casual. I would disagree. I don't think they're particularly casual, but obviously once they allow you to rebind your keys, people will be able to change that anyway, I think. So, but I can see where people are coming from. I mean, the controls are definitely one of the main points that need to be improved, but I wouldn't go as far as to say that they should have been better as a first release. The first release is always going to have things people don't like, because no one's tested it apart from the QA team internally, so there's always going to be things that people don't like. That was pretty cool. It's the Scythe. The Scythe is the Vandal ship just flying past my window. There's 3 ships you can get right now in the game. There's the 300i, the Hornet, which is what I've got here, the 300i, the Hornet, which is like the best space fighter. Oh, you see that? Just look, right, ignore me for 1 second. That is the edge of the thing. I think that effect is really cool, but obviously, you know, I'd like it to be a bit bigger maybe. But it's fine for a first release.
Systems overheating. Scan initiated.
There's the Hornet, which is like a fighter. It's like the main fighter. This is more of an agile, less firepower, but faster. The Hornet, a bit slower, but better weapons. And the Avenger, which is... No, not the Avenger. That's my ship. The Aurora, even, which has the best... Nothing. It's like the cheap... Anyone could afford it kind of thing. Ship. When the game... Obviously now, you have to pay for a ship to get into the game. But when the game comes out, once you've paid the game fee, which I think will be like something like $40 maybe, I'm not sure, which is like 20-something pounds. It's going. Everything will be earnable in the game. Like every ship, you can't have an advantage by paying money basically. Like you can't. In fact, you won't even be able to buy ships with your money. You have to get them in the game, which is good. That means no pay to win. And with the amount of money that Star Citizen's raised, which is around the time of recording this, $44 million, I would hope that they wouldn't need to make it pay to win.
Warning. You are approaching.
Alert. Systems overheating.
Definitely impressed. As long as they can fix some of them bugs, there are still bugs, of course it's a pre-alpha, like my hands are not touching the steering wheel, other things like that. The animations are all a bit buggy right now, I think, for the player model, but other than that, I would say it's all pretty damn good. I managed to get to there's 15 rounds overall, I said that at the beginning. I managed to get to round 5, I think, in this, and I decided to just stop the video there because I don't want to keep the video going forever. But yeah, I could have got much further because you get 3 lives, and you get 3 lives in the game, and I only die once, but I just stopped the recording. But yeah, I'm extremely excited about Star Citizen. There we go, took out another Vandal right there. It just looks really cool when they just fly over your head, and you know, it's just the game that a lot of people have been wanting for a very long time, or it will be when it's fully released. But it's showing a lot of promise with this Arena Commander, as it's called, dogfighting module. The dogfighting module was first supposed to come out in December, if you didn't know, if you haven't pledged, or you haven't heard anything about it. This was supposed to come out in December last year, and they just completely delayed it because I think there is a lot of pressure on CIG to make this game good, because obviously they've got $44 million of people's money and they've placed their trust in them to make a really good game. But that also means that a lot of like the reviewers and the press are going to be taking this as an example of what the full game will be like, whether it's pre-alpha or not. A lot of people will be judging this game on this, so I think they made the right decision to delay it from December, because otherwise they would have released an even less finished product and probably would have got a lot of slack for bringing out an unfinished product, even though it's pre-alpha. Like, that's what you're supposed to do, but people still are going to judge it very not objectively, with because people's minds, I think, kind of geared towards the fact that betas should be polished now, because a lot of bigger companies have been bringing out betas, saying they're betas to test, but actually they're really just the full games. An example is Titanfall, Battlefield. Mainly EA actually have been doing that, yeah. EA suck, so you know, you would expect that. But it means that a lot of people are judging these as full games, which sucks. But anyway, here, this is where I decide to kill myself, because I want to wrap the video up. But somehow I miss flying into a giant laser firing into the ground of some distant planet. But eventually I will get in there. So thanks guys for watching. This has been Matt from Biscuit Breaks, and I hope to see you in the next video.